All right, in today's video, I'm going to cover some ground because I want to be able to give you as many resources as possible, not only to create your own personal brand, but to be able to utilize that brand to compete against the Nike corporate takeover that everyone is scared to death over right now. So first of all, let's think about how we allowed this to occur. 5 years ago, during the time when everyone thought they were going to sick and fall over dead in the streets and everything was shut down, certain artists with a lot of talent were painting on white Nikes. They were selling these things, monetizing a product that Nike saw a lot of value in. Now, they had already infiltrated a counterculture in skateboarding 15 years prior. This was an inevitable thing to occur. It was only a matter of time. So Nike sat back and really paid close attention to how they could come into counterculture from a broad scheme. And this is an obvious entry point because when you fast forward and you start seeing a lot of athletes getting tattooed by the luxury tattoo culture that's recently occurred, and now they're going under anesthesia and getting tattooed by multiple people. Imagine the impact that Nike can have by promoting and sponsoring these kind of things occurring. Now, as artists, we don't know how to fight against it aside from going onto social media and bitching and complaining. We're not actually going to do anything about it. We're just going to bitch. So here's what you can do. You cannot let it impact you because the culture of tattooing that we all knew and love is already dead from an umbrella perspective, but it doesn't have to be dead in you. You can be the anti-hero to what it is corporations are doing to the industry. Now think about it. Supply companies, manufacturers, producers of products, even a lot of tattoo shops have been overrun and bought out by corporate. That's just something that we already know has occurred. So the snowball effect is already occurring. What can you do that gives you an upper hand to fight against this? You can get to know your brand. Nike is a brand. It represents certain things. It speaks to certain markets, and that's how it's been able to grow. The way they went about creating Air Jordans was a lot more of a cultural thing than it was anything else. And now all of a sudden things have snowballed where it's one of the most expensive shoes, one of the most valuable shoes, one of the most sought out shoes on the face of the planet. Now you, as a lower provider of a quality product that you put your heart and soul into, need to take your brand as personally as you do your art, because you as the artist are truly what people are looking for now. People are no longer just buying a tattoo. They're buying a tattoo artist. They're buying the culture in which that tattoo artist represents. They're buying the comfortability and the relatability and the experience that an individual can provide. No different than people don't just buy shoes. Most people have a brand that they like. A lot of the tattoo industry, Vans, Chuck Taylors, Doc Martens, Nikes, you know what I mean? We have a style, we have a reason. We go to that specific shoe or that specific brand for a particular reason. We need to do the same thing with our businesses. And we don't have to expect to go to Nike level. We fucking won't. But you need to know how to speak to the market, because the only thing Nike will be able to do is target the tattoo artist who wants to do what it is Nike represents, or the client who is already into Nike products who wants to be more of a part of the Nike journey. You, as the producer of a product who has a significant relatable brand in your local community, can create the same fanfare and the same cult following with the right execution plan. So first and foremost, you have to know what that means. So when you do a cross analysis of what particular brands represent, you can look at Liquid Death stands for rebellion. You can look at Harley stands for brotherhood and unity. You can look at Mercedes that stands for like luxury. You can look at Rolex that stands for exclusivity. The list goes on. You can pair yourself with something like that. Now, you have to know yourself first, all right? You can't just pick a bunch of them and say, I would like people to believe that I am. You truly have to become. And then as you stand on that platform and build that foundation on what it is you have created and chosen for your culture implementation, now all of a sudden you have a market you can speak to. So you can get a lot more specific to what that market looks like. What are their character types? What are their interests? What is their income range? What are their values? There's a lot of different things that we can implement here. Now, I know this sounds like a lot of work, but the problem is if you don't start doing this stuff now, you're going to become more irrelevant and more invisible the less time you spend and the more time you waste. So why not take yourself a little bit more seriously? Why continue to allow yourself to just be a producer of a product, knowing that inevitably the snowball effect is only going to get worse and worse? You have to start to take a stance for your own well-being and your own sustainability in this career path. You do not want to be one of those artists who are falling off the back end, who dedicated half their lives to something they once upon a time loved and have now created resentment for. The reason resentment occurs is because you don't know what's going on and you feel lost in the middle of something that you had dedicated so much time to. You feel all alone in a room full of people and you can't figure out why. Well, the reason why is because you put all of your eggs into the wrong basket for too damn long and those eggs spoiled. You need to consistently move the eggs around and learn more valuable skills and have more valuable insight on how industries consistently change and scale. Tattooing was not going to stay counterculture forever. It's far too cool. It's far too attractive to not only clients who want to get them, but people who want to be a part of the validation that comes with being able to say you do a certain thing. So if you want to fight against corporate takeover, you need to be super resourceful and super certain. If you are not a confident individual, you will never be a confident producer of a product or a more reputable quality brand that people can trust. So you have to take this shit seriously. It's just the reality of the game. Or start looking for a different career path now and go back to just being a hobbyist. Now, I don't mean a tattoo hobbyist, because tattooing is a lifestyle, no matter how you slice it. But it's how you live your lifestyle that is going to positively impact your career path. So make a choice. Take a step back for a second. Look at something from a bird's eye view. What do you really want? Do you want to spend forever bitching and complaining about what's going on around you, knowing you can't do anything about it? Or do you want to target the things you can do stuff about, being you, your lifestyle, who you're becoming, and how you're showcasing that, to be able to remain relevant and to be visible so that you can be the anti-hero and bring back counterculture as a one-off? This choice has to be yours, but you have to make the decision. You have to decide what you want and stay the course, because creatives, they tend to just have too many good or subpar ideas and they don't know which way to go. Something isn't performing well enough. So now they're going to pivot, then they're going to pivot, then they're going to pivot. And the one thing that corporations have that we don't is a roadmap. So we need a roadmap. We need to know what we need to do, when we need to do it, and accountability to ensure the fact that we don't fall off or get lost in our own limiting beliefs. And that is what the Force of Focus is here to be able to help you create. I've gotten a lot of pushback over the years, but the artists who have betted on themselves and realized that there has to be a better way have come in and created massive levels of success because of it. There's also a lot of artists who just want things to stay the way they've always been, which inevitably, as we all know, is never going to be the fucking case. So it's time that you start putting you back in the driver's seat. If you want the tattoo counterculture to remain unique, if you want it to remain sacred, you yourself have to evolve. The tattoo industry is growing at lightning speed. If you are not also taking active steps to evolving, you will inevitably be left behind. So if you want to know what you need to do, if you want to work with a room of people and a team of individuals who have all mastered the art of these skills, from branding to marketing to personal development, the list goes on, then join the school community. I've made it super fucking affordable because I want to see the right ones win. I'm not going to charge people an arm and a fucking leg unless they really want to go ham and want us to do all of the work for them with the branding, the logos, the icons, the mood boards, the infrastructure, the business plans, yada, yada, yada. I just want to see a room full of people who are all willing to bound together to make a difference in the communities that they are in. The caveat to this is you have to do the work. You have to show up in the rooms. You have to gather the information. You have to do the work. You have to become a better person to be able to offer a better experience so that you can service the right clients with a more quality product. That's what we're here for. So join the school community. Let's get to work. Let's make fucking magic happen.